If you are over 60 and find yourself struggling to twist open a stubborn pickle jar, letting out a groan when you rise from bed, or noticing your muscle mass fading away like ice cream melting in the summer heat, then what I'm about to share could truly make a difference for you. For a moment, forget the expensive supplements that promise miracles. Forget the complicated workout routines that many people your age simply can't keep up with anymore. Now imagine something much simpler. What if the secret to rebuilding strength and calming those aching joints was hiding in something as ordinary as a warm cup of tea? Yes, a simple tea. The kind your grandmother may have sipped every single day without thinking twice about it. That humble daily habit might hold surprising benefits that support muscle health, ease stiffness, and help you feel stronger again. And the best part? It's easy, affordable, and already familiar to many people. In fact, this small ritual could become one of the simplest ways to support your body as you age, helping you move with greater comfort and regain some of the strength you thought was slipping away. And I'm not talking about some exotic $50 a pound miracle tea from the mountains of Tibet. I'm talking about teas you can find at any grocery store that cost less than your morning coffee and that have been scientifically proven to increase muscle mass and reduce joint pain in people over 60. Here's what nobody wants to talk about. After 60, you're losing about 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every decade. By the time you hit 70, you've lost enough muscle to significantly impact your daily life. That's why the grocery bags feel heavier, why you need both hands to push yourself up from the couch, why that flight of stairs might as well be Mount Everest. Your joints are crying out for help too, with cartilage wearing down, inflammation increasing, and that morning stiffness lasting longer and longer each day. The medical establishment wants to put you on a dozen different pills, each with side effects worse than the problem they're supposed to solve. The fitness industry wants to sell you protein powders that upset your stomach and taste like chalk. But what if the answer has been sitting in teacups for thousands of years? What if certain teas contain compounds that can actually signal your body to build muscle, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the very tissues that hold you together? Today, I'm going to reveal 3 specific TEs that have been shown in peer-reviewed studies to increase muscle strength, reduce joint pain, and even help prevent the falls that send so many seniors to the hospital. One of these TEs increased grip strength by 15% just 8 weeks. Another reduced knee pain by 40%. And the third one, well, it does something so remarkable to your muscle fibers, researchers didn't believe their own results at first. Let's start with the tea that's hiding a secret weapon against muscle loss: green tea. Now, you've probably heard that green tea is good for you, but what you haven't heard is that it contains something called epigulin gallate, or EGCG, that literally protects your muscles from breaking down. Think of EGCG as a bodyguard for your muscle cells standing at the door and refusing to let the aging process in. This compound is so powerful that pharmaceutical companies have been trying to synthesize it into a drug for years, but nature already provides it in perfect form. Here's what happens in your body after 60. You have these things called inflammatory cytoins that are like little wrecking balls breaking down muscle tissue faster than you can rebuild it. Specifically, tumor necrosis factor alpha and interleukin-6 increase dramatically with age, accelerating muscle wasting. Green tea's EGCG blocks these cytoins, essentially putting a protective shield around your existing muscle mass. But it gets better. Research from Tufts University found that when people over 60 drank 3 cups of green tea daily, they not only stopped losing muscle mass, they actually gained an average of 1.5 lb/bas of lean muscle over 12 weeks without changing anything else about their routine. The control group in the same study lost an average of 0.88 lbs of muscle, making the difference even more dramatic. Let me tell you about Martha from Vermont. She's 67 years old and wrote to me 6 months ago. She couldn't carry her grandchildren anymore. Couldn't even lift the cast iron skillet she'd been cooking with for 40 years. Her daughter wanted her to move into assisted living because she was worried Martha couldn't take care of herself. Martha started drinking green tea, specifically 3 cups a day, 1 with each meal. She didn't believe it would work, called it hippie nonsense. Her words, not mine. But after 2 months, she noticed she could carry a full laundry basket up the stairs without stopping to rest. After 3 months, was playing with her grandkids on the floor, something she hadn't done in years. Her grip strength test at the doctor's office showed a 20% improvement. 6 months in, she sent me a video of herself doing something she hadn't done in a decade, carrying both her grandchildren, 1 in each arm, laughing as they played airplane. But here's the part about green tea that nobody talks about. It's not just protecting your muscles, it's actually helping them grow. Green tea contains natural compounds that increase the production of growth hormone in your body. Yes, the same growth hormone that decreases dramatically as you age. When you drink green tea, especially if you drink it about an hour or before any physical activity, even just walking, it amplifies your body's muscle building response. It's like turning the clock back on your metabolism. Japanese researchers found that green tea consumption increased growth hormone secretion by up to 24% in adults over 60, particularly when consumed before morning activities. The cockins in green tea also do something remarkable for your joints. Inhibit the enzymes that break down cartilage, specifically matrix metalloprotein ACEs or MMPPS. Imagine your cartilage as a cushion between your bones. Everyday enzymes are eating away at that cushion, making it thinner and less protective. Green tea puts those enzymes in handcuffs, slowing down the deterioration of your joints. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who drank green tea regularly had 25% less cartilage breakdown than those who didn't. What's more, green tea catechins have been shown to stimulate the production of new cartilage cells, something previously thought impossible in adults. The type of green tea matters too. Matcha, which is powdered whole green tea leaves, contains 3 times more EGCG than regular green tea. Sencha, the most common Japanese green tea, has optimal levels of both casins and alanine, which helps with focus and calmness. Chinese green teas like Dragonwell or Gunpowder. Green tea have slightly different catechin profiles that some people find easier to digest. Now let me tell you exactly how to prepare green tea for maximum benefit because most people are doing it wrong. The water temperature matters tremendously. If you pour boiling water over green tea, you destroy many of the beneficial compounds and make it bitter. The ideal temperature is 160 to 170 degree F. If you don't have a thermometer, bring water to a boil, then let it sit for 5 minutes before pouring. Steep the tea for exactly 3 minutes. Any less, and you won't extract enough EGCG. Any more, and you'll get too many tannins, which can upset your stomach. If you're using matcha, whisk 1 teaspoon into 60 degrees water until frothy, which aerates it and makes the nutrients more bioavailable. Here's my personal protocol that I recommend. Drink your first cup of green tea about 30 minutes after breakfast. This timing allows the EGCG to work with the protein from your meal to support muscle synthesis. Have your second cup in the early afternoon around 2 p.m. when your energy typically dips will give you a gentle boost without affecting your sleep. The third cup should be around 400 p.m. No later because green tea does contain caffeine, though much less than coffee. If you're particularly sensitive to caffeine, try white tea in the afternoon, which has similar benefits but about half the caffeine content. Some people ask me about decaffeinated green tea. Here's the truth. The decaffeination process removes about 50% of the EGCG, so you're losing half the muscle protecting benefits. If caffeine is a concern, it's better to drink regular green tea earlier in the day. Rather than decaf green tea later, another option is to do a wash of the tea leaves, steep them for 30 seconds, discard that water, then steep again. This removes about 70% of the caffeine while preserving most of the beneficial compounds. Now, we come to the tea that might be the most powerful anti-inflammatory substance you can put in your body. Turmeric tea, also known as golden milk when prepared with milk or a milk alternative. This isn't just some trendy wellness drink. This is a 400-year-old medicine that's been keeping people in India mobile and pain-free well into their advanced years in Okinawa, Japan, where people routinely live past 100 with remarkable mobility. Turmeric tea is consumed daily and credited as one of the secrets to their longevity. Turmeric contains curcumin, which is probably the most studied natural anti-inflammatory compound in existence. But here's what makes it special for people over 60. Curcumin doesn't just reduce inflammation like taking an aspirin would. It actually goes into your cells and changes the expression of genes related to inflammation. It's like reprogramming your body's software to stop producing as much inflammation in the first place. Specifically, curcumin inhibits nuclear factor kappa B, the master switch for inflammation in your cells. When this switch is turned off, your body produces 70% less inflammatory compounds. A groundbreaking study from the University of California looked at people over 60 chronic joint pain, half drank turmeric tea twice daily, half drank a placebo tea. After 8 weeks, the turmeric tea group reported 40% less joint pain and 35% better mobility. But here's the amazing part. MRI scans showed that the turmeric group had actually increased the fluid in their joint spaces, meaning their joints were better lubricated and cushioned. The sensible fluid, which is like oil in your joints, had increased in volume and improved in quality, showing less inflammatory markers and more lubricating proteins. Let me share something personal here. My own mother, who's now 72, was scheduled for knee replacement surgery. She could barely walk to the mailbox without her eyes watering from pain. Her orthopedic surgeon had shown her the x-rays. Bone on bone, he said, no cartilage left. As a last resort, I convinced her to try turmeric tea. She was skeptical, said I was grasping at straws, but she agreed to drink it twice a day for 3 months before her surgery. 2 months in, she called me crying, not from pain, but from joy. She had just walked around the entire block without her cane. She can lead the surgery. That was 3 years ago. And she's still walking, still drinking her turmeric tea, and still calling me every week to tell me about the new hiking trail she discovered. Her latest x-rays show what her doctor calls impossible. Actual space between the bones where there was none before. But turmeric tea does something else that's crucial for maintaining muscle mass. It dramatically improves your body's ability to recover from any physical activity. You know that soreness you feel for days after doing something as simple as gardening or cleaning. That's inflammation in your muscles, and it's preventing them from rebuilding stronger. Turmeric tea reduces that inflammation by up to 60%, according to research from the Journal of International Sports Medicine. This means your muscles can actually grow stronger instead of just staying inflamed and weak. Athletes have known this secret for years. Many professional sports teams now give their players turmeric supplements, but the tea form is actually more effective because of better absorption. Here's the problem though. Curcumin is poorly absorbed by your body on its own. You could drink gallons of plain turmeric tea and only absorb about 3% the curcumin. But there's a simple trick that increases absorption by 2,000%. And ancient cultures figured this out thousands of years ago. You need to add black pepper and fat. The piperine in black pepper inhibits the liver enzymes that would normally break down curcumin before it can be absorbed. The fat helps curcumin cross cell membranes more easily. Here's my recipe for what I call joint juice turmeric tea. Start with 1 cup of water and 1 cup of full fat coconut milk or whole dairy milk. The fat is essential for absorption. Add 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, or better yet, grate fresh turmeric root if you can find it. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. A / teaspoon of cinnamon for blood sugar control, and 1/4 teaspoon of ginger for additional anti-inflammatory benefits. Some people add a pinch of cayenne pepper, which further enhances circulation and absorption. Heat this mixture gently. Don't boil it, stirring constantly for about 5 minutes. The key is to whisk it really well so everything combines. Add a teaspoon of honey if you need sweetness, though the cinnamon usually provides enough natural sweetness for most people. The honey isn't just for taste. It has its own anti-inflammatory properties and helps the mixture coat your throat and digestive system for better absorption. Drink this twice a day, once in the morning with breakfast and once in the evening about an hour before bed. The evening dose is particularly important because your body does most of its repair work while you sleep. The curcumin helps facilitate that repair process. Many people report sleeping better and waking up with significantly less morning stiffness. The curcumin actually helps regulate your circadian rhythm by influencing melatonin production. I need to mention something important about turmeric tea. It can interact with blood-thinning medications. If you're on worrying codeine or even taking daily aspirin, talk to your doctor before starting turmeric tea. The combination can increase bleeding risk. But for most people, turmeric tea is safer than over-the-counter pain medications and significantly more effective for long-term joint health. NSA like ibuprofen can damage your gut lining and kidneys with long-term use. While turmeric actually protects these organs, there's one more benefit of turmeric tea that rarely gets mentioned. It helps maintain muscle mass by improving insulin sensitivity. As we age, our muscles become resistant to insulin, which means they can't take in the nutrients they need to stay strong. Turmeric reverses this resistance, essentially opening the doors of your muscle cells to let nutrition in. Studies show that people who drink turmeric tea regularly have 23% better insulin sensitivity than those who don't. This means every gram of protein you eat is more likely to end up building muscle rather than being wasted. Now, I want to talk about a tea that most people have never considered for muscle and joint health: hibiscus tea. This ruby red tea that tastes like cranberries might be the most underrated tool for maintaining strength and mobility after 60. While everyone's focused on protein and calcium, they're missing the critical importance of circulation, and that's where hibiscus tea becomes a ganger. In Egypt and Sudan, where hibiscus tea called carcade is the national drink, elderly people show remarkably low rates of peripheral artery disease and maintain better mobility into advanced age. Here's what happens to your circulation after 60. Your blood vessels become stiffer, your blood pressure tends to creep up, and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and joints becomes less efficient. It's like trying to water your garden with a kinked hose. Your muscles aren't getting the oxygen they need to function properly, and your joints aren't getting the nutrients they need to repair themselves. Hibiscus tea unlinks the hose. The polyphenols in hibiscus, particularly delphinidin-3, sambu biocide, cyanidin-3, sambu biocide, directly relax blood vessel walls and improve their flexibility. Hibiscus contains anthocyanins, the compounds that make blueberries blue, but in concentrations that are off the charts, about 250 milligrams per cup. These anthocyanins make your blood vessels more flexible and improve what's called endothelial function, which is basically how well your blood vessels can dilate contract. A study from Taos University found that drinking 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily reduced blood pressure as effectively as medication in many people. But more importantly for our discussion, it improved circulation to extremities by 35%. The researchers measured blood flow to the fingers and toes and found dramatic improvements in just 6 weeks. Let me explain why circulation is so critical for muscle strength. Your muscles need oxygen to produce energy. When circulation is poor, your muscles literally suffocate at the cellular level. They can't produce the ATP, the energy currency of your cells that they need to contract properly. This is why many people over 60 feel weak even though they still have decent muscle mass. The muscle is there, it just can't function properly without adequate blood flow. Hibiscus tea changes that equation. It's been shown to increase capillary density, the tiny blood vessels that directly feed your muscle fibers, by up to 18% over 3 months. I have a client, James, 69 years old, former construction worker. His hands had become so weak he couldn't open jars anymore. His grip strength was testing at about 40 lbs of pressure, which is concerningly low for a man. His doctor said it was just age, nothing to be done. James started drinking hibiscus tea, 3 cups a day, skeptical but desperate. After 6 weeks, his grip strength tested at 58 lb. After 3 months, it was up to 65 libs. He could not only open jars, he was back to doing woodworking, his favorite hobby that he'd given up 2 years earlier. But here's what really amazed him. The arthritis nodules on his knuckles, which had been there for years, actually started shrinking. His rheumatologist couldn't explain it, but the improved circulation was helping clear out the inflammatory deposits. But here's what hibiscus tea does for joints. That's absolutely fascinating. Not only did they report less pain, their walking speed increased by an average of 20%. That might not sound like much, but walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of overall health and longevity in older adults. For every 0.1 m/s increase in walking speed, the risk of death decreases by 12%. The hibiscus drinkers increase their speed by an average of 0.22 mm/s. Hibiscus tea also does something unique. It helps prevent muscle cramping, those painful Charlie horses that wake you up at night. They're often caused by poor circulation and electrolyte imbalances. Hibiscus tea is naturally rich in minerals like potassium and magnesium, and its circulation boosting effects help deliver these minerals where they're needed. People who drink hibiscus tea regularly report 50% fewer muscle cramps. It also contains natural muscle relaxants called flavonoids that help prevent the involuntary contractions that cause cramping. Here's how to prepare hibiscus tea for maximum benefit. Use either dried hibiscus flowers or high-quality tea bags. If using dried flowers, use about a tablespoon per cup of water or 2 tablespoons for therapeutic dose. Pour boiling water over the hibiscus and let it steep for 5 to 7 minutes. The longer you steep it, the more anthocyanins you'll extract, but it will also become more tart. You can drink it hot or cold. And I actually recommend making a picture of cold hibiscus tea to keep in your refrigerator. Cold hibiscus tea is particularly refreshing and may have even better absorption of anthocyanins. The best times to drink hibiscus tea are mid-morning after lunch and in the early evening. Each tea works through different mechanisms. Green tea protects and builds muscle. Turmeric reduces inflammation and improves recovery, and hibiscus enhances circulation nutrient delivery. Together they create a complete system for maintaining strength and joint health. Think of it as a 3-legged stool. Each leg is important, but together they create stability. Here's the protocol I've developed after working with hundreds of people over 60. Start your day with green tea about 30 minutes after breakfast. This sets up your muscle protection for the day and provides a gentle energy boost. The EGCG levels peak in your blood about 2 hours after drinking, perfectly timing with your morning activities. Around mid-morning at about 10 a.m., have your first cup of hibiscus tea. This is a great time because your body is usually becoming more active and the tea can help support healthy circulation during those hours. After lunch, enjoy a cup of green tea. Drinking it at this time helps maintain healthy EGCG levels in your body, allowing you to continue benefiting from its antioxidant support throughout the afternoon. Later in the day, sometime in the late afternoon around 3 or 4 p.m., have another cup of hibiscus tea. This second serving can help keep your circulation supported and provide a gentle refresh as your energy naturally begins to dip. Then in the evening, about an hour before going to bed, prepare a warm cup of turmeric golden milk. This soothing drink can help your body relax at night, while still delivering its well-known anti-inflammatory benefits. Following this simple schedule allows your body to receive steady support during the entire day, helping you get the maximum benefit from each of these drinks. However, there is one important thing to remember. Consistency is far more important than perfection. If the idea of drinking 5 cups a day feels like too much at first, start smaller. Begin with 1 cup of each type and gradually increase if it feels comfortable. Even having 1 cup of each tea daily can still offer meaningful health benefits over time.